Okay everyone, so today is week 2 day 11 of the documentation for the game that I'm trying to build as a solo indie game developer, and I wanted to also document the learning progress that I've been able to accomplish while building this game. So right now I was able to create some artwork for the UI, health UI. I actually worked on some traps, and at the same time, or actually I worked on one trap and I implemented this also in code. I'm going to show you that later on. And I also draw an artwork of an old traditional lamp here in our country. We actually owned this when I was a young boy, and I wanted to include that into the game that I'm trying to build. And here's the update on the gameplay. As you can see, this is actually inspired by one of my most favorite game, which is Castlevania. And I'm just setting up the environment here. I still need to work on some of the tile maps. I'm still working on some of the tile maps here. And for the code that I was able to implement, you would see the character now dies once the character hits the trap that I made for today. And the UI, you would see there that there's the UI. On the learning goals that I was able to accomplish, I was doing a lot of test builds for this project, and I was thinking that I should be checking out how to do some version numbers for my game builds. And I actually run through a good community forum, so I created a presentation based from a community discussion in Stack Exchange. I'll be leaving a link to that community discussion as a reference for myself and for you guys if you're watching this. So you would see here that we have this game builds number and on how you can try to label your game versions. There's actually, based from the community, there's really no best practice. However, there are some things that you can try to adapt based on what makes sense to you. And this is one of the things that I think I'll be following for labeling the game versions of my game. And that will be this approach from where we have a major build number, that's the number 1 in front. We have the minor build number, that's the 0.0, revision number or patch version, that's the third number, and we have the fourth number, which is involving the package number or additional labels for pre-release. And we can see here that some description of what will be categorizing the build number as a major build number, and that will be indicating a major milestone for the game. And we normally increment this if we are going to be implementing some update, or let's say if we are going to increment from beta released to the released final version of your game. And if we will be doing some updates or major updates from the release date to the major updates of our game. And we also have here the minor build number, which is going to be related to some updates that we are doing for a specific feature, or we were able to solve a bug that was inside of our game application, or we were experiencing, or we were seeing in our testing in our game application. And we also have what we call the revision or patch build, which is going to be something that we add if there are some minor alteration on existing features and small bug fixes. This will also be involving if we are in need of making some backwards compatibility or bug fixes that will be solving some backwards compatibility issues. And we also have what we call the package number, which is if we possibly made some external library changes or asset file update in our game. So overall, those are the things that I was able to accomplish, both on the things that I implemented in code and at the same time some new learnings that I was able to acquire from the research that I've done about game builds or versions, how we label our game versions. So thank you and see you on the next update or on the next update of this game.